Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech. This week, it feels like we're in the middle of a full-blown AI gold rush. We're talking billions of dollars pouring into the space, and it's kicking up a storm of innovation, a ton of controversy, and some really powerful ripple effects that are touching everything from your computer all the way to deep space. Okay, so let's get right into it. Here's what we're covering today. We're going to start with the money that's fueling this fire, then take a look at how big tech is flexing its muscles. After that, we'll see how this all affects you directly, and we'll wrap up with some absolutely mind-blowing science. And we are starting big. I mean, the sheer amount of cash being pumped into AI right now is almost hard to wrap your head around, and it all starts with one of the biggest funding rounds we've ever seen. Yeah, you're seeing that right. $20 billion. That's the new target for Elon Musk's xAI. And get this, the very company making the digital shovels for this gold rush, chipmaker NVIDIA, is reportedly throwing in up to $2 billion of its own. It's just a staggering amount of money. Now, you know the saying, more money, more problems. When you're rushing to get a piece of that multi-billion-dollar pie, things can get messy. The consequences of pushing these powerful AI tools out the door at lightning speed are becoming crystal clear, and OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman is learning that the hard way. That's a very polite way of saying, oops, we really did not see that coming. OpenAI's new video app Sora was an instant hit, but it also gave us things like Nazi SpongeBob and Criminal Pikachu. The copyright backlash was huge, forcing them to do a complete 180 on their policy for rights holders. The theory was just totally different from the reality. And this gold rush is spreading out way beyond just chatbots and video generators. SoftBank is dropping a massive $5.4 billion on what they're calling physical AI, buying up a robotics company to bring AI into the real world. At the same time, Google DeepMind just launched an AI that can literally use a web browser like a person, clicking, scrolling, and typing. Even shopping is changing, with a new Google tool that lets you virtually try on shoes just by using a photo. So, here's the really crucial point. This mad dash for AI dominance isn't just a battle of code and servers. Nope, it's turning into a high-stakes game of influence, with tech giants scrambling to write the rules before anyone else can. So if you're a tech giant staring down the barrel of antitrust lawsuits and a whole lot of regulatory heat, what do? Well, it turns out there's a playbook, and it usually involves writing some very, very large checks. And this perfectly illustrates that playbook. A company like YouTube faces massive government pressure. Then a lawsuit from a powerful political figure gets settled for a huge sum, $24.5 million in this case. That money then gets funneled into a pet project. It's a way for these corporations to, potentially smooth things over and soften the regulatory blows that are coming their way. And believe me, this push for control is happening right on your own desk. Microsoft is really tightening its grip on Windows 11. They're getting rid of all the little workarounds that used to let you install it with a local account, offline. Now, they're basically making a Microsoft account and an internet connection mandatory, pushing you deeper into their world and their data collection whether you want to be there or not. But you know what? It's not totally a one-way street. While these companies are trying to lock things down, people and governments are starting to get fed up and push back. And here's a perfect example. We have all been there. You're watching a show, the volume is just right, and then bam, a commercial comes on and just blasts you out of your seat. Well, in California, that's about to be illegal for streaming services. The whole thing was apparently inspired by a lawmaker's newborn baby getting woken up by a super loud ad. So yeah, they're finally doing something about it. All right, so now let's shift from these big picture power plays to stuff that hits a little closer to home. We're talking about your personal data, the gadgets you own, and even what's for dinner. 6 million. That's how many shoppers have their personal information, the very fuel for this whole AI gold rush, exposed in a massive data leak from an e-commerce company called Vtex. And this affected customers of huge brands like Walmart and Sony. So what does this mean for you? Well, it means there's a much higher risk of super convincing scam emails using your real purchase history. So the big takeaway here is just to be extra careful. Be suspicious of any urgent-sounding emails. Don't click on weird links, and just keep a close eye on your bank accounts. This constant push for more and more data also affects your actual devices. T-Mobile just confirmed it's going to start shutting down its 4G network in 2026 to make more room for 5G. So what that means is that older phones that only use 4G are eventually just going to stop working. They're clearing the way for the next generation. And as tech gets into every part of our lives, the risks aren't just digital anymore. The meal kit company HelloFresh has recalled 2 products because of possible listeria in spinach from one of its suppliers. And just to be really clear here, the illnesses and deaths on this chart are linked to that supplier, but it just goes to show how fragile these really complex tech-driven supply chains can be. But okay, on a much lighter note, let's talk about an upgrade you can actually get excited about. Google just released the new Pixel Watch 4. Now, it looks a lot like the last one, but the upgrades are pretty significant. It's got this beautiful new domed screen, better audio, and it's actually designed so you can repair it yourself, which is a huge win. But honestly, the real game changer might be the new emergency satellite feature, so you can call for help even when you have absolutely no cell service. All right, for our final section, let's just zoom all the way out, from the tech on our wrists to the kind of breakthroughs that are literally redefining what we thought was possible. This is just wow. The European Space Agency snapped this picture. See that tiny white dot? That's an interstellar comet. It's only the 3rd one we've ever seen. It was born around a different star and has been just wandering through the galaxy for maybe billions of years. It could be twice as old as our own solar system. And then back here on Earth, this year's Nobel Prize in Physics is for work that's 40 years old, but it's the foundation for our entire future. Back in the 80s, these 3 scientists proved that a really bizarre thing called quantum tunneling was real. It's basically the idea that tiny particles can pass through solid walls. And that discovery, well, it paved the way for the phone in your pocket and for the quantum computers of tomorrow. And this might be the most incredible thing of all. In a stunning biotech breakthrough, scientists have created a protein that generates an electrical current when it's just hit by normal indoor light. This could be a revolutionary step towards actually restoring vision to the blind. So we've gone from the messy AI gold rush all the way to the elegance of quantum physics and the hope of restoring sight. It just goes to show you, for all the drama and controversy, technology just keeps pushing us forward. So the big question is, what human limit is it going to erase next? If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.